Hello, good evening, and welcome to City Fan TV. I'm your host, Ray, and I'm joined by Bernard Janine from the Citizen channel. How you doing, Bernard?
I'm all right. The host with the most, I think they call it.
I don't know about the most. I've not got the most up here. But I've got to say, I don't normally say this. I do like your top. I do like that.
Yeah, I'm not usually into collars. I always find these sort of curl up and stuff. So, but obviously, my good lady bought this for me birthday the last couple of weeks back. So, I've got to wear. Well, I'm going to say I got to wear it. Then that sounds horrible, doesn't it?
I'm going to say this. Well, look at that. I cash in there. Tremble winners, baby.
Tremble winners, baby.
Absolutely spot on. And we're still basking in the glory of that treble. Hey,
oh, did you see that 3D thing in Japan?
No, I saw something about
with the coach, and there's like a 3D thing coming out of the top.
No, I haven't had the chance to watch anything.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been done afterwards or actually at the thing, but the City posted it, so they're implying it was done and it was like a sort of hologram above the coaches.
I did see someone come through, but if you've seen, I've been rather busy today. Hi, Sean, hope you're well. I mean, I did put out a video this morning about Bernardo Silva, and because I wanted to do it yesterday, but I fell asleep basically, and just after that.
Well, Bernardo Silva has that effect on us, mate. Yeah.
So I wanted to do this video yesterday. I mean, I have a series of videos that I want to do, about 6 or 7. And I've had them stacked up for the last week. Hi, Big Morgan, hope you well, buddy. And I thought, yep, I'll go ahead and start recording these. And then things have been happening. So things have been happening that I think, oh, I'm going to get me Bernardo Silva video out. But so I recorded this video at 5 o'clock this morning because I can't sleep. So I did that video, got that one out. I had my Laporte video that I recorded yesterday. I thought I better stick that one out as well because Gvardiol's coming. And then I thought,
supposed to be coming.
And then we talked a few days ago about doing something on the kids. We talked yesterday actually about doing some video on the kids, about who we think staying, going, what they should do, and everything else. So things are moving too quick. So the Bernardo thing came out yesterday, and I thought, well, Mike asked me a few weeks ago what I thought about him, and I said I think he'll stay because he's nowhere to go. I can't see him going to Saudi. Can't see PSG. Just going down. Can't see him in anywhere else. Where else is he to go? Nowhere. Big hefty pay rise apparently, and maybe a contract extension. So that'd be good. And then the Borges news come out today. So to recap, it looks like Bernardo might be staying, and that's what I said before. Someone said it could be a contract extension, which would be great. Gvardiol is almost over the line. Just waiting on that. So we'll see what happens there. There's news that Cole Palmer might be that Brighton are interested in taking him permanently. That's it. I will ask you about that. And obviously the Carlos Borges deal to West Ham for 40 million quid. And I said the video will come out. I've been waiting for the last hour and a quarter for it to upload. Even on this premium Wi-Fi at Premier Inn, it ain't premium for me, buddy. It's taken an hour. It'll be an hour and a half to load up a 12, 30-minute video. It's ridiculous that. It'll be like 3 minutes at home. Anyway, so Carlos Borges, I didn't see any future for him. That's a huge problem for kids coming through at City. And it's going to be a problem for forever, the way things are going. There's no easy way to get them.
Well, he's 19, isn't he? He's 19. He's still a kid, isn't he? He's still a nipper. He's never really had a chance. As I said, I saw him play against Girona in that friendly game. He came on as a substitute in the second half, and I must admit, I thought, what a big lummox he is. I mean, he really was I thought this guy doesn't look very good, but that was literally 20 minutes, on a December day, which was absolutely bloody freezing. He probably wanted to stay on the bench. He probably didn't want to come on and play. In fairness to him, but I mean, he scored 24 last season. I think looking at
21 and 24 or so. 20.
Yeah, I mean, 14 million with the buyback clause. You can't really go far wrong, can you, mate, with that sort of thing?
Well, the thing is, if in a couple of years' time, hopefully our buyback clause is better than the Lavia one. because we can't buy him back until next season anyway. But if he really makes it and it costs us 40 million quid to buy him back, it's not such a hardship because, hey, we got 14 million, so it's actually cost us 26 million to buy him back. So if he does make it into a 60, 70, 80 million pound player, it's not such a hardship to pay 26 million quid to get this kid. So I don't have any issues there. And it's going to give the kid a chance to be propelled, like, dare I say, Sancho. When he left City, what happened to him? Dare I say, Romeo Lavia, when he left City, what happened to him? And sometimes you've got to make that move. It didn't happen for Brahim Diaz when he went from City to Real Madrid, but when he left Real Madrid, it happened for him at AC Milan. It's not star, but not in the same way Sancho or Lavia potentially could be. I mean, Sancho was sold by Dortmund for about 72 million quid to United. And Lavia could be 40 or 50 million quid. So I think if Lavia goes for 40 or 50 million quid, I'd say he's made it. He's not going anywhere to be on the bench. If he goes to Liverpool, if he goes to West Ham, if he goes to Chelsea or whoever, he's not going there to be on the bench. He's going there to start games. If you're paying 40, 50 million quid for somebody, unless you're Man City, of course, then you just leave him on the bench, as is the case with Calvin Phillips. But I mean, obviously, there's a rumor of Calvin Phillips to Liverpool if they can't get Lavia or someone decent. Look, if Liverpool want to pay 50 million for him, I'll carry him down the East Lancs Road to Anfield, no problem. I'm ready to. I
don't think Pep's give up on him just yet.
No, he'll have time. So yeah, Carlos Borges, look, he's a precocious talent. He's got a lot of pace, but he can't get. It's hard. Look at Cole Palmer. If Cole Palmer had been somewhere else and had 2 seasons there, like he's had at City, if he's good enough, he'll come through. And the problem is, you can't come through when you're fighting against Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, KDB, Ilkay Gundogan, Julian Alvarez, Grealish and Haaland, to name but 7 or 8. You're fighting to get in the team ahead of any of them. It ain't happening. It's very difficult. And then I think I've said it before, there's additional pressure, there's increased pressure on these kids when they play because they feel, oh no, I've got one chance to shine. I've got 20 minutes here. I've got to shine. They end up being a bit greedy. I think Cole Palmer was more greedy this season than he was the previous one. And, they take on a little bit too much. And then you think, he's not that good, is he? And I think maybe the same with Borges. They try and do too much because they think maybe this is my only chance to impress. I have no idea who that'll be, Akash. It could have been Mitoma, but Brighton won't let anybody go on the cheap. He was never going to get in the first team. He might have done in 2 or 3 years' time, but he's not good. He might be good enough. Like we think now, people are saying Lavia looks like he's good enough, but he wouldn't have showed that. If he'd stayed at City, we'd still be asking the question about Lavia. Is he good enough? Because he'd have played at 6, 7, 8 games. We'd still be saying, I'm not sure, And this is the problem. There's no easy way through for City academy kids. That's why they have to go to somewhere like Southampton, maybe Brighton, Burnley, or on the continent to have a chance to shine. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Gvardiol turns up in Tokyo. He won't be there on holiday, going to Japan to climb Mount Fuji. I doubt it. Are you worried, Bernard? I mean, so it was a video I was going to do, but are you worried that we're potentially losing too many of our better players or our senior players?
Not at the moment. I don't think we've lost too many of our better players just yet. As it stands, we're fine. Grealish, Mahrez and Gundo. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but I'm not going to panic on the loss of them. And they say if Bernardo's staying, Walker's not heard anything on that today. I've not heard anything about Walker today with Bayern Munich, etc. Apart from the fact he's agreed that he wants to go, but that's all quiet today.
Yeah.
Who else has been hinted
at?
The
thing is, we did discuss this. If Walker goes, we've got He's not
Yeah,
first team.
again, it's not
Mahrez
a
not
big
first team.
problem.
You know, if Bernardo goes, obviously he's first team. Gundogan's first team. That hurts. If Laporte goes, hey, Laporte's not first team. You know, he's struggling to get inside. So
I do want something. I do want to say KDB. I worry about. Obviously, he went through a phase of looking as though he was fit as a fiddle, didn't he, last year? And then all of a sudden, he fell down a hole again and was playing injured by the looks of it, just to get him through the season. I do worry going forward with his age now that we do need someone in there, and I don't think it's going to be McAtee by any means. I'm hoping he has a crack, a breakthrough season this season, and obviously it's not going to be the new guy Kovacic. He's not that sort of player. Yeah. So I think we're desperate for something there. We need something there, unless he's going to put more responsibility on Bernardo, which for me, Pep's always used him as a ball carrier, doing all the donkey work. If Pep gives him a bit more freedom. Perhaps now he's got Kovacic. Perhaps it'll release Bernardo a little bit more with Stones, obviously now in midfield as well, which is Pep's idea. With Stones, Kovacic, you've got Peroni coming through. With them guys, it probably gives Bernardo a bit more license now to roam a bit freer and create a little bit more.
Well, in terms of attacking midfield, you talked about Bernardo. We've got Phil Foden. What's to stop Pep putting Phil Foden as an attacking midfielder and leaving Bernardo on the right, or putting Bernardo in the middle instead of Gundogan and putting Phil on the right? Yeah. So I understand, and I'm tending to agree with what you're saying, Bernard. It's a bit of a shock, isn't it? But I agree that.
I just thought Bernardo was underutilised last season. He had a good season, but I thought Pep, he was playing him as left back, and God knows what, wasn't he? Let's be honest about it, because we were struggling. We were struggling for a lot of that season last season, and Bernardo was the sort of guy who could stick in and rely on him not to lose the ball and do various things. And I think that restrained him a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. The players we're losing, apart from Gundogan, are not first team players. And we're replacing, looks like, Laporte with Gvardiol, who is, you would like to think, a guy who's going to be a first-team player. So, and I like that because it's going to put more pressure on Ake. It's going to put pressure on Akanji, Diaz. There's 4 guys who are playing across the back. Now you've got a 5th guy. How do you squeeze 4 into 5? 5 into 4 slots. And then you got Rico Lewis wanting looking, Sergio Gomez. So I think the pressure, the competition for places at the back is intense, and they're all blooming good defenders. So that's what you want. The pressure is intense. Up front, I think it's less so, because obviously no one in the world can challenge Haaland. No one. Grealish, I think he needs to step up now. He's had 2 seasons. And yes, people will say he had a good season last season overall. Not good enough for me. He has to contribute more, fall down less, unless it's in the penalty box. If it's in the box, I don't mind. Okay, but fall down less, and he's got to score a few more goals. He's had a lot of chances. He's got to take a few more of them. So that'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see who else we get, because we can't go into the next season if we've lost, for argument's sake, Walker, Gundogan, Mahrez. I don't think we can go into next season just having Gvardiol and Kovacic, because we lost Cancelo last season. He might stick around, but I'm hoping he goes away, like a bad smell. He'll keep lingering. So I'm interested to see how much he can promote Peroni, Sergio Gomez. Does he play Sergio Gomez up in a more attacking role like he did for under 21s in Spain? But I think
that's Saki's weakness, isn't it? He never looks as though he's got that ability to move forward. Gomez did it, didn't he, for the under 21s? He seems to have that ability.
But Aki's got a pass on him.
Oh yeah. I like it. I love Aki. I think he's he's one of our best players this season.
But he can't carry it.
And he can progress more, and that's the thing. Pep can get more out of him in the same way he's getting more out of Stones now in a different position.
He's got time. He's got time to learn and grow and develop. But I think I'll be surprised if we don't, shocked actually, if we don't get one or two more people in. Someone, unless Pep's thinking Julian Alvarez. Pep might look at this and say, we lost Mahrez, but we've got Alvarez who can play on the right. Foden can play on the right. Bernardo can play on the right. That's enough.
We had certain players, like I said, Alvarez, underutilised last season. He could have been used more, but obviously other players were taking that position up. So, as far as injuries as well, Alvarez doesn't seem to be any problems with that. Of course, Bernardo, when's he injured? He's hardly ever injured. I'll touch wood when I say that, because you know what happens usually when you say something like that. But they are. Alvarez would have played far more games. The players weren't. We didn't have the squad we had for the start. So really, as you say, if you get rid of 2 or 3 players and say get rid of 4 players, replace with 2, it gives options for people like Alvarez to get more minutes anyway.
Well, then what you end up doing, I suppose, you end up promoting someone like Alvarez to be maybe more regular first team player, or Foden back to being a first team, because Foden, I don't think if Foden wasn't injured last season, I think he'd have been, a steady Eddie throughout the season. He'd have been there. So he was just unlucky with the appendicitis and his foot injury. So if we promote 1 or 2 forward, then bring through a couple more kids, which is why someone like Oscar Bob might be around. McAtee, Oscar Bob obviously went on the Japanese tour. McAtee, I want to see what he can do, because he did well last season at Sheffield United. He didn't do so well that everybody's demanding he plays, but he did really well. So I want to see him attach himself to that first team squad and train with them, and maybe 1 or 2 others. We heard that Wilson Esbrand is going out on loan. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
You want to talk about him in any more
Not
detail?
Really. I've always liked him. I always think he's a good enough player. He's another one that just hasn't had the opportunities. But I've been quite impressed every time I've seen him play, which I can't always say about all the young lads. The Cole Palmers of this world who I thought of. But certainly Wilson Esbrand, I won't say he's a steady Eddie, but he's for me, when he has had the opportunity, he's sort of grabbed it.
Yeah. Do you know where he's going on loan?
I did, but I forgot. Remind me.
He's going to France, isn't he? He's supposed to be playing in League 1, if I remember correctly.
I read it this morning, but I forgot.
Is he going to Rance on loan? He's going to Rance on loan, I think. I'm reading.
Well, our old ex guy, he's going over to France, isn't he? Mr. Mendy's going over to France, isn't he? Apparently,
Ben Mendy's gone and joined. Not Lorient, is it? Is that who's gone? Lorient.
Sounds familiar.
You remember? He's joined Lorient. So that's.
Yeah, I thought it'd end up in Saudi, to be honest with you. But if he's, obviously, why not? Why not France?
Even the Saudis don't want him. Lorient, it's going to be. I think he'll enjoy it there. It's a decent city. I think.
Let's hope he chooses his friends better.
Yeah, if you want to know where, I'm trying to remember now. So Lorient is on the Atlantic coast. It's, if you know anything about France, it's not too far from the biggest. The nearest biggest place is Nantes. You must have heard of that. It's not too far from. Actually, it's not too far from Brest, which is just about the up that end of the France, the most westerly point of France. Obviously, I think actually it is the most westerly point of France. You've got, and which isn't too far from places like Guernsey and Jersey and all that. I'm moving up. So, if I remember correctly, Ben Mendy came from Massy, which we used to live about 15 minutes from Massy when we lived in France, which is probably, let's say, an hour south of Paris. So it's actually a long way. Lorient is a long way from Paris, which is probably a good thing. It's, I have a mate who lives in Brest, and I drove out to see him, 5 hours drive. He couldn't believe me. I went out to see him for a coffee. That were it. 5 hours. We had a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours together, and then I drove back. And people think, well, why did you? Why not? Why not? You do these things. So Mendy's off there. Let's go through a few comments. Obviously, read some comments out. Abu Khalid Ali said, Gomez is way off Man City stands. No, you got to give him that second season. You know, if you have that attitude, then Rodri would have been dumped. Now, I bet you're singing Rodri's praises. I bet now, Abu Khalid Ali, you're saying Grealish is a world beater. You know, give people that second season, and then we decide. Abu's typing a bit here. Alvarez is more like a number 10 and a small striker. He did not show real signs for the right winger. Well, look what Pep's done with Grealish. Was not really a left winger. Mahrez is not really a right winger. John Stones is not really a midfielder, but Pep sees things. I mean, you go back into the sands of time. Thierry Henry, he was a left winger, wasn't he? And he ended up playing up front and scoring tons of goals for the Arsenal. Mando says, what's going on with Bernardo Silva? Any news on transfer? I heard he is underpaid. He is underpaid, apparently. He's on about 150 grand a week. But the rumour is that he's going to now be on about 250 to 300,000 pounds a week. One of the top City paid players. And that the rumour is that he's going to extend his contract. I said it for ages. I can't see where he can go. I can't see him going to Barcelona because they haven't got the money. People are taking pay cuts to go to Barcelona. You know, Romeo, Oriol Romeo, the guy who used to play for Southampton, the shaven-headed midfield. I was going to say thug, but he's not a thug. He was actually a decent player. Enforcer, let's call him. He took a pay cut. He lost bonuses over £1 million to go to Barcelona. So, if Bernardo's underpaid at City, he's certainly going to be underpaid at Barcelona. So they ain't got the money. PSG's a huge step down. And if you watch my video on Bernardo Silva that I put out this morning, I said Bernardo Silva's just won the treble. He's just won the highest in club honours in the Champions League. And he's just won it. And he's still at a good age. And he's still in the first team at City. He's not like Mahrez, who has been dropped. He's still a first-team player at City. Okay? I think he would rather try and win the Champions League again with City than go to PSG and not win it. Because I'll tell you this, I can't see PSG winning the Champions League anytime soon. They couldn't win it with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. They couldn't win it with those three guys. Mbappe wants out. Messi's gone. Neymar's passed it. How are they going to win it? You know, Bernardo Silva's not going to come and make the difference. So I think in the next 2 or 3 seasons, but if Bernardo Silva was at PSG, he wouldn't win it. So you're playing basically in the Farmers League to win the league title. I think, I can't see the options unless Bayern come a calling. I don't see that happening either. So there's probably nowhere to go. And he probably realizes that he's one of the most loved players at Manchester City. Can you think of anybody else in the current team that the fans love more than Bernardo Silva? Phil? They're slightly different because Phil's Phil, he's a City fan. But I think it's, he's loved more than KDB. He's loved more than Haaland. I think he's loved more than Jack Grealish, So, so that's where I think we are on that one, Mando. Foden was great in KDB's position in Champions League final. Foden is great. Leighton Lorient. Yeah. Nice one, Sean. I actually quite like that one. Hey, Brian, hope you're well, buddy. I wish City could come out and the fans, what is happening at transfers tonight, but you can't do, you can't say. I mean, that's what I think is kind of, I've heard the slight hold up on the Gvardiol because RB Leipzig want their 100 million euros. They want every single penny of the transfer fee. And maybe by putting it out that there's a hold up, it's kind of going to make City, I don't know, it's a bit of poker, isn't it? Think, all right, we've got to get this through. We'll pay a bit extra money. I don't know. KDB is number 1. You think he's the most loved player by the fans? I'm not so sure. A Big Morgan. Look, don't get me wrong, he is well loved, but I think Bernardo, you always love a player who annoys the opposition team, manager, and fans. That's why Robbie Savage, we hate Robbie Savage, but the teams he played for, they loved him because he wound up the opposition. And Grealish does that a little bit, but Bernardo does it, I think, more than anybody else, certainly at City. And opposition fans and teams, they hate him. They hate him. And that's one of the reasons why we love him. He's an imp. I think that's a good word to use. He's a little cheeky imp. Is there anything else, Bernard? Any other news that's burning?
I've just been obviously scanning down Twitter to see if anything's happened since we've been on. Bit boring, really. Nothing much at all. But nothing exciting is happening, guys. At the moment, as I say, we're all stuck on Gvardiol and. At the moment, stuck on other things while the guys are out. See who plays on obviously this weekend. We'll talk about that probably before Sunday, but it'll be interesting to see, players like Laporte, whether they'll get a look, whether Walker will get a look in. Pep sort will keep them just keep them to one side and not bother playing them.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, like you say, who plays. Let's go through some more. Thinks KDB is the best player in Europe. Might be the best player, but I'm saying who's the best loved at City. This season, John Stones is number one. We will see. Johnny Stones. Are you looking? How much are you looking forward to this season? Are you? The old season only just finished a month ago. 5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm still worn out, mate. I'm still worn out from last season.
Your wallet's probably still worn out from last season.
I mean, I see obviously social media saying, "Oh, this is boring." Well, I just enjoy I don't have a rest anyway because I do. You know me, I do all my history stuff and all my blogs anyway, so I never have a rest from football. So it's just less stress worrying about City winning or losing. That's the only problem. Well, only good thing about it is that I'm not worried every week that we're going to win or we're going to get beat or whatever.
You shouldn't be that worried because
Well, you know what I mean, going into work and if United have won a game and all of a sudden they become league challengers from win 2 games out of 2 and the league's theirs, isn't it? That's you just get a bit worn out with it all.
Yeah,
that Arsenal fan doing his Rice song. Did you see that?
Look. He probably got hundreds of thousands of views, but most of them are slating him. Just reading now, 7 minutes ago, that Burnley have signed England under 21 star James Trafford. No wonder. I was wondering why people have been watching that video I did on James Trafford a little while ago. Why it's still. I did it on the 9th of July, 10 days ago. It's still number 3 in my view, the highest, most watched video in the last 48 hours. It's number 3. There's an interesting thing I realized yesterday and again today. And I was tempted to do a video about this, but I can't keep doing videos. No one seems to care that Riyad Mahrez is going. There's not much hoo-ha, And here's the thing: the recent videos I've done, I've done reasonably well. Mahrez, the video I did on him, absolutely struggled. It's really struggled to get any tempo about Mahrez going. I just, generally City fans seem to be ambivalent. They don't care about Mahrez staying or going. He's not had that love. As much love as another player you would have expected to have.
He was always underappreciated for me at City, and I think last season he just became a squad player, didn't he? I think he started very well, but after the World Cup and leading up to the Champions League, he wasn't getting much of a look in. And I think the fans, don't forget about him, but he's one of those players that you're not in awe of. So, when he does disappear for a while, so what sort of thing, And even Gundo to some extent, when he had quiet times, you think, okay, yeah. And then he comes in and does a great job. And Mahrez was the same. He could come in and do a great job at certain times in his career. But, no big hoo-ha. Of course, you've lost all your Algerian fans now. They won't be listening to you anymore, mate.
I'm going to wait for my YouTube followers to drop. But I'm still trying. I wanted to do a video with my mate Waleed Hope, so I'm trying to do that one. do a video. I've asked him, but I can't get hold of him at the moment. It'd be nice to do. Oh, actually, I've got him on WhatsApp. I will send him a WhatsApp. Let me just find him. Yeah, let me just. I
will do due diligence when I do my little piece on Mahrez. I will spend about five working days doing a vlog for about 30, 40 minutes. But you know, so that's my contribution to Mr. Mahrez anyway.
My contribution now is a 2 or 3 minute video that I'm not going to record.
If we get a 3 parts out of him, I'll be happy. Hopefully, it won't get to 4 parts, but I think 3 is enough.
on Mahrez?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to ask this guy. No. I'm going to really do it. I want you to do a short video for my channel. Because I think that those are the people who are going to, the people who are actually going to watch the video are the Riyad Mahrez fans, the Algerians. That's Ice Cream Man again. So yeah, as I said, the people who are going to watch it are the
Ice Cream Man.
So I've asked my mate Waleed Hope. I said, like, can you do a 2 or 3 minute video for me in Arabic? For the Algerian fans. So maybe they won't leave me. Well, maybe they see the video come up and say, "Oh, I'll subscribe to that guy." But Mahrez is left. I'll dump him as well. Suddenly find I lose 100 subscribers, but. There's a lot of people on there. Hey, guys, if you are new to the channel, if you like the Boys in Blue, Bernard and me will be after you. No, that's the song, isn't it? The Boys in Blue will be after you or whatever. But if you can subscribe to the channel, if you're new, knocking around here, I stuck a lot of videos out today. I've got the Bernardo Silva video out this morning, the Emerick Laporte video out, my Carlos Borges video. I don't know. Do you know how you pronounce his name? Is it Borges or Borges?
Oh, you're asking me, the guy who can pronounce all these foreign names. The
guy who can't even spell his own name.
Borges.
It better be Borges. It better be Borges because I've never used that one. Bernard Denin, the guy can't even pronounce his own name. But no.
Hey! Now Gundo's gone. I could never pronounce his name right. And how many years was he here? Still couldn't get it right.
We used to call him Gundogan.
Ended up calling him Gundo in the end because I just couldn't figure it out.
Years ago, Mike kept telling me off. He said he's Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. Mike's very much into trying to get the names.
Well, Kevin De Bruyne, I just call him KDB. Just save me embarrassment.
Absolutely, you got to do that. So, guys, in the next few minutes, once we finish this stream, my Carlos Borges video will drop. Please go and watch that. And if you are new to the channel, I said, repeat, please subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Say, Bernard, cheers, buddy. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for coming in and thanks for having me.
Yeah, I always love to have you on the channel. And guys, go and check out Bernard's channel, The Citizen channel. He's some say he's bigger and better than me.
Bigger. Go watch me 3,000 videos, guys, on the channel. I'll keep you quiet.
Yeah, if you've got a few hours to spare, go and watch some of the history stuff. No, it's good stuff. That really good stuff, and will be calling on Bernard soon. I want to do I got so many ideas. We just haven't got the time, but we will do a classless.
Well, the games will be kicking in now, mate. It's we'll be concentrating on the actual season kicking off and all this sort of thing.
The game's kicking in 17 days' time. Is the first game. That Community Shield. Oh, can you imagine? To finish off, can you imagine the build up to the Community Shield because we're playing those Dreg Merchants Arsenal? Who don't.
Painful.
I repeat,
painful now. It's already painful. I say they're the most blocked or muted. Yeah. I mute people. I don't block them. I just mute people. Yeah. They're the most. I think Arsenal fans are the most muted bunch over the last few months that I've had.
Yeah. Oh no, the delusion it knows no bounds.
The thing is, Ray, though, when you actually go to the games, when you're actually there, it's not that bad because these idiots are mainly just sat at home doing this. There's not many of them actually go to the game. So although I'm not a big fan of Arsenal fans, it won't actually be that bad.
Yeah.
At the place, at Wembley, etc., as it is on the internet, because they don't go. They won't be there.
But it's and one good thing about Arsenal fans, and I'll give them some credit, when we're pasting them, they do shut up. Let's sing our songs. Been there a few times. That's happened. Arsenal fans, we see you. We see your arrogance. Because this is what I don't understand, Bernard. I don't understand this. Okay, City fans, we've won 5 Premier League titles in 6 seasons. Arsenal haven't really, until last season, challenged in about 20 years. And they're more arrogant than us. I don't get it. I really don't get it. How Arsenal fans have the audacity to be so arrogant when they've won nothing of any importance for 20 years.
No, just brought up like that, mate. It's simple. I mean, United fans, I mean, there's still a bunch of arrogant swines. And what have they won the last few years? And I still get it in the neck every time at work. And it just makes me cringe, you know.
The only thing about United fans, they had that purple period when old Purple Nose was their manager. If it wasn't for that, they'd be miles behind Liverpool. They'd be miles behind other clubs. They'd be miles behind Arsenal if it wasn't for Big Purple Nose, because they were stumbling around in the dark. They got lucky. And here's the thing:
even before Purple Nose, even before him, I mean, I don't forget I grew up with them. I was in the 60s and 70s. I mean, there were a bunch of arrogant, you know, the horror. You know, the City fans are always nice lads, and the United fans are always. I don't want to insult, but they're always scallies. They're always scallies at the time when we were kids. You know, all the trouble causes. I mean, us lot we're well-behaved City fans, and most of the United fans we knew were just bloody scallies. You know, where they get a clip around the ear off the mums with you know, every day and stuff like this because they're up to no good, and that's just how they are. But of course, the dads brought them up. That's it. It's the parentage, you see. I blame the parents, Arsenal fans and the United fans. I blame all the parents. It's shocking. And it's the arrogance from 1930s, the 50s, the 80s into now.
Here's something I'm going to throw out there, okay? City hit the jackpot when Sheikh Mansour bought the club. There's no question about that, okay? And what we've achieved in the last 10 years, 12 years, has been on the back of that. But Manchester United hit the jackpot when they got Sir Alex Ferguson, because without him, they'd just be, you know, this behemoth like Liverpool 30 years didn't win the Premier League title. I'll let you into a secret, United fans. You haven't won the league title for 11 years. It's 2013 that you won the league title. That was 11 seasons ago. Or 10, whatever, and you're not winning it anytime soon. Can you imagine if they don't win it for 30 years? How many of them just walk away? Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Last comment from Sean, the media getting behind Arsenal again after beating Rooney 11. Rubbish. I mean, rubbish games. You know, they mean.
What was that? What game was that?
They beat the MLS All-Stars 5.
All right, okay.
Rubbish. Right, Bernard, let you off, mate. And
cheers, guys.
I'll look for some fish and chips somewhere. Enjoy your evening, guys, and we'll see you around Blues. Cheers, guys.